Hello, Daniel here. How are you doing? Happy Monday afternoon. That's right. So I'm out here today to give you a little insight in some of the emergencies and disasters that are regularly happening around the country. Now, a lot of you don't know this. I do my homework and I do some research. Yes, I do. And I get these things called Google Alerts on a regular basis. They're for things like wildfires, hurricanes, winter storms, tornadoes, floods, house fires, earthquakes, to name a few. And I received one today about earthquakes. And I'm going, because in reading the review from Google, it identified multiple earthquakes that have happened in the state of California. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up here is, well, someone needs to, because a lot of people don't listen and don't care. And I say this, and it's distinctly saddening to have to sit here and say that I was actually told the other day that people don't care to prepare for disasters. They're too busy. And I'm going. So if you're so busy that you can't prepare yourself and your loved ones to respond to a major disaster, what are you going to tell your children, your spouse, your loved ones when that disaster happens and you're not prepared to do anything? So what we do know, based on surveys done by FEMA, is that upwards to 25% of the population have done something to be prepared. So I'm not talking to that 25. That's like preaching to the choir. No, I'm talking to that other 75%. You know who you are, that have done nothing. So we're going to talk about earthquakes here on the west coast of California. That's where the most of them are. And I grew up in California, and I remember as a child growing up, we were all talking about the big one, waiting for the big one. That's for those of you that don't know, California sits on what's known as the continental shelf, and someday it's supposed to break off. Now, when that does happen, no matter what you do, it's not going to help much. But we're not looking at that happening because there's much smaller earthquakes than that do happen. So some things to keep in mind: earthquakes are not distant events, but they do happen all over the world. In the news report today I got from Google, talked about smaller earthquakes in Gilroy, California, which is Central California, earthquakes down in Los Angeles. And there's earthquakes happening every day, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But the key issue to understand here about earthquakes, we can't see them coming. No, it's not like a wildfire, which we can watch coming our way. It's not like a winter storm, which the meteorologist on the news is pointing to and says it's coming our way. And it's not like the hurricane, which that weather guy is also saying is coming our way. No, earthquakes, boom, they're going to happen, and we're not going to know it's coming. That's why it is extremely important to have some sort of preparation to deal with the after effects of an earthquake. So yes, I will have to say, I will be glad to say that there are many brainiacs out there, scientists who are working on understanding earthquakes. They're appreciating the fact that there are ways that they might be able to identify earthquakes coming, and they might be able to pre-plan for them if we know it's coming. But what's that going to mean here? Let's think about this. If we have a major earthquake, someone is guaranteed 100% it's going to hit the Los Angeles basin in the next 12 hours. What are we going to do? Are we going to tell everybody, the 18 million people living in Los Angeles, hey, you guys got an earthquake coming in 12 hours. What are you going to do about it? Well, yeah, probably. But what is that going to also cause? It's going to cause panic. That's right, it will, because out of that 18 million people, 75% of them have done nothing and they're not prepared. Okay, so they're going to create more problems than it's worth. However, having an understanding of what to do about them is beneficial. And the way we can do that is by being aware of what the after effects are. What does happen with earthquakes? Obviously, the infrastructure gets broken. There's going to be power outages. There might be water mains are broken. So when we get any water, we have no power. There could be fires started because of gas exposure somewhere. So there's a lot of things to worry about, unfortunately. And if you're worrying about it, then you can look at some way to prevent it from happening to you or prepare for it. So there's a couple of things to do. One is you want to get in touch with your local county office of emergency management and find out what it is they're preparing for and how they're preparing for them. Now, each and every one of your county offices of emergency management And that's the magic tool to put into Google, name of your county, Office of Emergency Management. Go to their website. I guarantee they've got a PDF for you to download that's going to tell you everything they think you should be doing. And ideally, everything they're going to be doing to help you. But you're not going to know that unless you go actually download it. So that's part of our awareness. And of course, and I'm going to say this over and over, is once you understand the risk assessment in your area, in your hometown, it's best to plan for that with your entire family. That's right, the entire family. Because we never know when something's going to happen and we're not all together. Mom, dad, if you have children and you're not with them and an earthquake happens, a house fire happens, a flood happens, are they going to know what to do? It's important for you to bring them involved, get them involved. They might have answers for you that you would never know, and that'll be probably pretty good. Our kids are smarter than we give them credit for. I guarantee that. So there's a couple things to look at. There are earthquakes happening every day. Now I'm going to pull up a screenshot here. And the screenshot is of My Radar. It's an app on my phone. It's called My Radar. Let me see if I can pull it up here. My Radar, and it's a free app. Of course, I paid for the professional app, or an upgraded part of it, for hurricanes. I was living on the East Coast. Well, hurricanes are happening every year. So anyway, this is the app. And as you can see, all those little orange and red dots in the California area, those are earthquakes that are happening now, have happened recently in the last few hours. Yeah, so they're happening all the time. You also got those little things out like flames, wildfires that are going on around certain parts of the country. Of course, you know, if we were in a hurricane zone and there was a hurricane coming, we would see the hurricane cone and where it's going to. But it's a wonderful app, My Radar. Now, I originally bought My Radar and got it on my phone to be able to track lightning strikes when I was a drill sergeant in the U.S. Army. Because if there's lightning strikes, you have your men and women out in the field training. The last thing you want is for one of these young men or women to become injured or killed because we were remiss about our responsibility to protect them. So that's how I originally got the My Radar app on my phone, so I could track real-time lightning strikes. Now, I'm going to let you know right now, I'm not an affiliate with My Radar. I don't get paid for mentioning them, but I believe in it, okay? And I believe that's something you should probably have on your phone. So there's a couple things to think about. One is we need to understand our demographics of what we're looking at. We need to prepare for them. We need to have our children and everyone in the family prepared for them. And we need to have ways to communicate what's going on if and when something happens. Now, let's go spin off on a lighter note. Believe it or not, there's a Major League Soccer team called the Earthquakes. That's right, the San Jose Earthquakes. I love it. You know, they're so, and a lighter theme for earthquakes here is they're a Major League Soccer team. I mentioned that, aptly named after the natural phenomenon. Why not? Let's go for it. Now, this team's resilience and dynamic presence reflects the broader community love that goes on by using that name and supporting their players and their community. So, go to your county office of emergency management, download their PDF file that tells you what they think you should do to prepare. Do a little bit of homework, and there's some links down in this blog post here that you can go bounce around in to get some better information or more information. So until the next time, I want you to all please stay informed and stay safe. It's Daniel. I'm a loving, courageous, committed leader, and I look forward to you doing the right thing. I'm out of here.